The Bible is arguably the most influential book in Western civilization. It has shaped our laws, our art, our music, and our very understanding of the world. But what if I told you that the Bible we know today is incomplete? It may surprise many to learn that the Bible's journey from ancient texts to the book we hold today is a complex and often messy one. Many texts that were once considered sacred are now missing. These lost books offer intriguing glimpses into early Christianity. They paint a broader and sometimes very different picture of the faith. Exploring these lost books is not about undermining the Bible. It is about understanding the historical forces that shaped it. It's about appreciating the diversity of early Christian beliefs. And it's about recognizing that the story of the Bible is still being written. The Bible as we know it is the result of centuries of debate, disagreement, and ultimately decisions about which texts were considered authoritative. The process of canonization, of deciding which books belonged in the Bible, was lengthy and complex. It involved numerous councils, theological debates, and political maneuvering. To fully grasp the significance of the lost books, we must first understand this process. These texts were excluded for various reasons, including theological disputes and political agendas, yet they offer invaluable insights into the diversity of early Christian thought. By studying these lost books, we gain a deeper understanding of the historical context in which the Bible was formed. This exploration enriches our appreciation of the Bible's complex history and its enduring impact on our world. The word canon comes from the Greek word for rule or measuring stick. In a religious context, it refers to the collection of texts that are considered authoritative and divinely inspired. For Christianity, the canon is the Bible. But this was not always a settled matter. Early Christians debated which books belonged in their scriptures. In the first few centuries after Jesus' death, there was no single universally accepted New Testament. Early Christians relied on oral traditions, individual letters from apostles, and a variety of written accounts of Jesus' life and teachings. These texts circulated widely, often copied by hand and shared among different Christian communities. Over time, however, the need for a standardized set of scriptures became increasingly apparent. This need arose partly to counteract the spread of what some saw as heretical teachings. Different groups were interpreting the message of Jesus in vastly different ways. A standard set of scriptures could provide a common ground for belief. The process of canonization involved intense debates and discussions among early Christians. Church leaders met in councils to deliberate on which texts should be included. These councils were crucial in shaping the New Testament as we know it today. The debates were not just theological but also political, reflecting the diverse views within early Christianity. Ultimately, the canon was established to unify the faith and guide the Christian community. The Council of Nicaea, convened by Emperor Constantine in 325 CE, marked a pivotal moment in the formation of the Christian canon. While primarily focused on resolving theological disputes, such as the nature of Jesus, the Council also began to address the issue of scriptural authority. Although no definitive list of canonical books emerged from Nicaea, it helped set the stage for future decisions about the Bible. The years following Nicaea saw continued debate and discussion about the canon. Different Christian leaders and theologians advocated for the inclusion or exclusion of certain texts. Factors such as a book's authorship, its consistency with accepted Christian teachings, and its usage within the early church all played a role in determining its canonicity. Finally, in the late 4th century, the process of canonization began to solidify. Regional councils, building upon the work started at Nicaea, began issuing more definitive lists of accepted scriptures. These lists were not immediately or universally adopted, but they represented a growing consensus within the Church. The Council of Nicaea's impact on the formation of the Christian canon was profound, setting a precedent for future councils and debates. It laid the groundwork for the eventual establishment of a unified Christian scripture, influencing the faith for centuries to come. The term Apocrypha refers to a collection of books that are included in some versions of the Bible, particularly Catholic and Orthodox Bibles, but excluded from others, such as Protestant Bibles These books, written primarily during the intertestamental period between the Old and New Testaments, cover a range of genres including historical accounts, wisdom, literature, and apocalyptic visions. The Apocrypha's status as canonical or non-canonical has been a subject of debate for centuries. Early church fathers held differing opinions on their authority. Some, like Augustine, argued for their inclusion in the canon. Others, like Jerome, expressed reservations. The Catholic Church affirmed the Apocrypha's canonicity at the Council of Trent in the 16th century. Protestant reformers, however, rejected their inclusion, relying on the Hebrew Bible as their guide for the Old Testament canon. While not considered part of the Protestant canon, the Apocrypha still holds historical and religious value. These books provide valuable insights into the Jewish world in which Jesus lived and ministered. They offer glimpses into Jewish thought, culture, and religious practices during a pivotal period in biblical history. Modern scholars continue to study the Apocrypha to understand its impact on early Christianity and its enduring legacy. The Lost Gospels, also known as Apocryphal Gospels, are a fascinating collection of texts that offer alternative perspectives on the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. These Gospels, such as the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Mary, and the Gospel of Judas, were not included in the canonical New Testament. Written by various early Christian communities, they provide unique insights into the diverse beliefs and practices that existed in the early centuries of Christianity. Some of these texts emphasize mystical and esoteric teachings, while others focus on the human aspects of Jesus' life. For example, the Gospel of Thomas is a collection of sayings attributed to Jesus, many of which are not found in the canonical Gospels. The Gospel of Mary highlights the role of Mary Magdalene as a prominent disciple and spiritual leader. The discovery of these lost Gospels has sparked considerable interest and debate among scholars, theologians, and believers. They challenge traditional narratives and invite us to reconsider our understanding of early Christian history and theology. While these texts are not part of the official canon, they continue to captivate the imagination of those who seek to explore the hidden dimensions of Christian faith. As we delve into the Lost Gospels, we uncover a rich tapestry of early Christian thought, revealing the complexity and diversity of the movement that would eventually shape the foundations of Western civilization. The Apocryphal Acts are another intriguing category of early Christian literature that didn't make it into the canonical New Testament. These texts, such as the Acts of Peter, the Acts of Paul and Thecla, and the Acts of Andrew, offer alternative narratives about the apostles and their missionary journeys. Written in the 2nd and 3rd centuries, the Apocryphal Acts depict the apostles as heroic figures who perform miracles, endure persecution, and spread the message of Christianity far and wide. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Apocryphal Acts is their portrayal of women. The Acts of Paul and Thecla, for example, tells the story of Thecla, a young woman who defies societal norms to follow the teachings of Paul. Her story highlights themes of female agency, chastity, and devotion, challenging the traditional gender roles of the time. These texts also provide valuable insights into the early Christian communities and their struggles. They reflect the diverse beliefs and practices that coexisted within the early church, offering a more nuanced understanding of its development. While the Apocryphal Acts were not included in the New Testament, they continue to be studied and appreciated for their historical and theological significance. They remind us that the story of early Christianity is not a monolithic narrative, but a rich tapestry of voices and perspectives, each contributing to the complex history of the faith. As we explore the Apocryphal Acts, we gain a deeper appreciation for the diverse and dynamic nature of early Christianity, shedding light on the lives and experiences of the apostles and their followers. The lost books of the Bible continue to influence modern Christianity in various ways. Scholars and theologians study these texts to gain a deeper understanding of early Christian beliefs and practices. These books also inspire contemporary discussions about the nature of Scripture and the process of canonization. By examining these lost texts, we can appreciate the rich diversity of early Christian thought and the historical context in which the Bible was formed. The study of these books challenges us to think critically about the development of religious traditions and the ways in which sacred texts are interpreted and understood over time. As we continue to explore these lost books, we gain valuable insights into the history of Christianity and the ongoing evolution of its teachings. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Scripture Chronicles.